I'm only 56.
Hey everybody, it's David. Whoa, 56, I'm 58 now. That very short clip is from a video that I made this same week, 2 years ago, when we began our journey into early retirement at 56 years old. 2 years later, hey, it's time to kind of reflect and celebrate. I'm going to take that video and we're going to reflect back on those 5 concerns, those 5 things that I thought would go possibly wrong here in early retirement, and I'll give you an update on how things are going. It is a new annual tradition for me. So are you ready? Hey, let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's David here at David in Progress, where we talk about 3 things. We talk about achieving financial independence, retiring early, and doing your best to live your best life. Now, from the perspective of just a regular guy, hey, that's me. I really want to hear from you. When you think about things that could go wrong in early retirement, what are the top couple things that pop in your head? Leave a comment and hey, let me know.
Today, I wanted to talk about perhaps what could go wrong. I've been thinking a lot about this, and so we're going to talk about 5 things that could derail our plan for early retirement.
Just a quick recap in case you're new to the channel. It was September of 2023 when I got notification that my position, my HR position, had been eliminated, and my official termination, the separation from T-Mobile, was December 4th of 2023. So 2024, that was the first year of early retirement, and I did a video a year ago talking about how that went. 2025, this year, 2025, really I kind of consider it to be the first real year. Why? Because in 2024, I had a severance, which meant a bonus and a monthly check for that first 6 months. I was on Cobra, didn't have income limits like I do with the ACA plan. This year, 2025, completely on our own with those investments. First year on healthcare.gov on an ACA plan. So this really was the first real year of early retirement from a financial and planning perspective.
The first one's kind of obvious. It's the finance side of it. Do we have enough money to sustain us, not only this year, that's pretty easy, but for years afterwards? So there is a long bridge between now and when we would have access to Social Security, Medicare, and those type of things. I'm only 56.
Yep, here we go with that first thing that could possibly go wrong, which is running out of money. Hey, 2024 was a great year for some of the reasons I mentioned. Also, it was a great year as far as stock market returns, with us ending that year at over an 18% positive return. Looking at this year, I checked it this morning, and our returns are over 10% for 2025. Hey, not as good as 2024, but I'm still very pleased with it. We've been able to cover all of our expenses this year without concerns of running out of money. We did have some big expenses this year. One of them was planned. We purchased a new vehicle back in May, had that money already set aside and budgeted, paid cash for it. Really wanted to go into this early retirement with a vehicle that we call YOLO. It is our adventure car. We're using it to go on these trips that we're doing, and it has been great. Another big purchase was that I bought a new e-bike. Yeah, I bought an e-bike in 2024. I got a new one in 2025. I'm riding the heck out of that thing. I've ridden almost 3,000 miles this year, and it has been great. Unexpected expenses have been medical. I had some dental expenses that I had not thought about really. I am on a Delta dental medical plan, but I had a couple of caps and a root canal, things that were not paid for in that first year in dental, but I'll have some coverage next year. Another thing, of course, is that medical, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, about a big medical expense that I had in 2025. Overall, things are going well from a financial perspective. We are not running out of money. We are actually ahead for the year. Our account has gained more than we have spent, which is exactly what you want to happen. If you are interested in our portfolio design, not as financial advice, but just to see what I am doing, I do update once a quarter, showing everything that we are invested in a percentage wise, and talk about our investment philosophy. I'll put a link to it down below.
The second thing is being prepared for the next stock market crash. It's bound to happen. All of our savings, we don't have real estate, I don't have a pension, I obviously don't have Social Security or anything like that. All of our savings is wrapped around the stock market and how it performs. And there is going to be a crash.
Speaking of investments, that thing that could go wrong, number 2 was the stock market crash. And here in 2025, I wouldn't call them crashes. Typically, they have been dips. dips that have lasted just a short amount of time. And that has actually been a good thing because those dips are kind of like lifting weights. It has been strengthening my mindset to kind of understand and think about what I will do or what we will do when the market does crash, which of course you know will happen. And one of the things that I've done in 2025 is moving even more to a conservative portfolio design. Again, I'll share my portfolio down below. It is really a big change in retirement to no longer be chasing returns. Prior to our early retirement, I had 0 bonds and had very little cash. In 2024 and in transitioning into this year, I have been doing more to fill up those 3 buckets. That cash bucket, that bond bucket, and then that equity growth bucket. Those first 2 have been the most important for that mental health when the market has gone down, and I plan on doing even more transitioning into that conservative mindset as we move into next year. But so far, no stock market crash. The thing is, I have to plan that it will happen. It will happen sometime in the future, but so far, hey, so good. The big lesson here, the takeaway, is that in early retirement, it is not necessarily managing the actual finances that is critical. It is managing the mindset, and why it is so important that when those temporary crashes happen, that you do not panic. I have an agreement with myself on what I'm going to do. I'm working really hard not to make any adjustments except for once or twice a year to kind of tweak things around, but no major changes based on psychology. The changes are based on my philosophy as far as portfolio design.
Third thing of potential is a health emergency. And that's especially important for someone like me who is a cancer survivor.
What could go wrong? Number 3 is health. I mentioned in that original video that I am a cancer survivor, and the cancer coming back is something that had always been on my mind. One of the things that I had not considered and not really thought about or was aware of is that I had a different health condition. I have a heart issue. Did not know, was not made aware of this until 2024, 6 months after moving into early retirement. I go in for just a regular doctor checkup and I find out that I have a heart condition requiring quintuple bypass surgery, which happened in 2024. Well, going into this year, December comes along and the doctor tells me that I need another major procedure. In January of this year, I had an ICD, an internal cardiac defibrillator, implanted on this side, and that was a $100,000 procedure. Big medical expense, as you might imagine. And with this medical situation here in 2025 was our first year to deal with the ACA, Affordable Care Act, and an Affordable Care Act medical plan. I do have a video I'll post down below that goes in great detail about how much our medical costs here in 2025 and how we were able to cover it. I keep saying that I'm one of those worst case scenarios, but I will keep talking about it here in these videos because I think a situation like mine where you step into early retirement and find out you have a health issue is something that people worry about, and I want to be transparent and share how things are going. Overall, things went okay with it. We were able to cover those medical expenses using that ACA plan. I learned a lesson and then had to change to a different plan here in 2026 coming up. But overall, the health is doing okay. You may be able to see there's a big difference in the videos when you see what I looked like at the beginning of this early retirement and what I look like now. Well, having all this time has allowed me to focus even more on my health. I've been riding that bike. I've been losing that weight. No, the heart is not improving, but it is holding stable. My health situation is a moving target, and I don't want to sugarcoat what I am going through. It is pretty serious. At the same time, I am so thankful that I did not let fear of medical keep us from early retirement. I can't imagine what it would be like to be dealing with this health thing while also still working. I'm also thankful for the systems we have set up to help take care of these medical expenses and these medical needs that are not requiring me to go back to work simply for health insurance. I can't imagine the additional stress I would have if I were dealing with this and also still sitting in that cubicle dealing with work. I am thankful for the journey that we are on.
The fourth thing is a loss of purpose and boredom. You know, when you have a job, you have a purpose.
Something that could go wrong, number 4, was loss of purpose. I consider myself to be a purpose-driven person. I've always had a purpose statement for my life, something that would drive me forward into what I was doing now and what I wanted to do next. And I will admit that sometimes I do miss work. I mostly miss the people, and I miss the purpose that I had of helping others. But here in early retirement, I am still seeking and working on a new purpose. The first thing is just we've had such a great time with all of our adventures. This year in 2025, we started right off the bat with a cruise. Later on, we did a dream trip where we drove the Oregon coast using points to pay for it 100%. In July, we had a fantastic trip where we got up in the cool mountains of Colorado, enjoyed spending time together. And then in September, it was our grand finale trip where we visited several national parks, going to Wind Cave National Park, Badlands National Park, and Glacier National Park. That has been a dream, even better than the actual trips, and part of the purpose part is planning for it. That Glacier trip especially, Glacier was one of the motivations to lose weight and get in shape because I knew those hikes were not going to be easy, especially with my health situation. And I lost weight, I worked out, and was able to do every hike that we had planned. Another thing within our purpose is staying intentional as a couple. I mentioned in the video last year about Fun Friday. Fun Friday is an intentional day where we spend time together doing something like going to a coffee shop or a new restaurant, something like that. Well, we added Terrific Tuesday this year, and Terrific Tuesday is intended more to be a trip or something else that we do together. In between, another thing that has become a big part of our purpose is volunteerism. You, as someone that is early retired, have the greatest asset of all, which is time. And our time is something that we feel is very important to give away. My wife volunteers 2 days a week, and I volunteer at an organization called Bike Club. Man, it's been so fun riding bikes with those kids. We meet with them in an after-school program. They're fourth graders. And we ride bikes. We teach them how to ride bikes, take them on field trips. And I tell you, I think I have more fun than the kids do in that. And lastly is this YouTube channel. I am a goal-oriented person, and having the goal to have one video a week is something that highly motivates me. I love the challenge of coming up with a topic every week, but most importantly, I absolutely love it when you leave those thumbs up and comments. The comments are the highlight of my day when I get to interact with you, communicate back with you. This year has been really fun because very recently I added interviews, and it's something that I'm especially looking forward to in 2026 is talking to more people like you here on this channel about your early retirement or retirement journey. I have not lost my sense of purpose. I have actually expanded it, and I'm working to make it even greater in 2026.
And I think the fifth thing is fear and the what ifs. I mentioned that basically when I talked about finances. I mentioned the what ifs when it came to my health and our health. There's a lot of what ifs and fears, and I think the fear and the what ifs is what keeps a lot of people from doing this, from pulling the trigger.
This last thing, fear, fear is a big one, and fear is something that holds many people back from taking that leap into early retirement. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't tell you that I still have some fear, but I let the fear be something positive to not hold me back, but instead help move me forward. This year, I came up with a new mantra that I say often whenever that fear is kind of creeping in, and I've said it before in a video. That simple mantra said in my head has gotten me off the couch to get out there and ride the bike or be intentional to do that day trip. I am facing the fear and pushing forward through it. And that is where I would like to end, challenging you to face your fears. Don't let fear keep you from retiring early, seeking financial independence, living your best life now. Fear can hold you back, but it can drive you forward. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for those thumbs up. Thank you for those comments. Let's look forward to a fantastic 2026.